What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest sci-fi movies that came out in the 90s, Independence Day. It's pretty much, well, it's the July long weekend here in Canada, so might as well talk about something close to that. Yeah, it was released by 20th Century Fox July 2nd, 1996. It was written and produced by Dean Devlin and co-written, produced, and directed by Ronald Emmerich, who's also done films like The Day After Tomorrow, the recent film Moonfall that's coming out, or it's out now, I can't remember. He also would go on to do Independence Day Resurgence, which I'm probably actually going to review tomorrow, so I'll tune in for that. And he's done like 2012, and he'll probably have other big blockbusters. Instead of box office earnings of a whopping $817.4 million, which the only other film before it went higher than that back in the 90s anyways was Jurassic Park. So it was definitely one of the second highest grossing in like the decade or something. And this is what made like the magnified the blockbuster type film movement in the 90s. So if you're not familiar with Independence Day, it stars Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, and a whole pile of others that are more of a rising cast at the time, but they all do a great job in this movie. Now, this film is pretty simple. The government and other people, spaceships start appearing around the world, and yeah, and it piques people's interest on knowing why they're there, and eventually, half the half of the people are divided and they want to welcome it. The other ones think they're a threat and they're not sure how to go about it. So the first half is basically government bodies and stuff trying to figure out what to do about it. And as it progresses, it turns out that the aliens want to take out the human race and cause a lot of devastation and destruction and we have to fight for our survival. It's a very simple story, but a lot of good, entertaining characters are in this film. There's a lot of good humor in it. It's very Americanized humor, but considering that it's based around the Independence Day weekend, and yeah, but overall, the thought of a major alien race coming to destroy it, like we've seen in War of the Worlds and stuff like that, but not to this magnitude. And the special effects they had on hand at the time to make this big blockbuster really shows. It still holds up. Majority of it still holds up today. There's some parts that look a little cheesy now, but it's still a gripping story of survival and like what would you do if you're with your family as this goes on. And yeah, there's a lot of good they kind of showcase a little bit of each walk of life, at least in America. Most of it's supposed to be a global catastrophe that's going on, but they mainly focus on just the United States, which is one of the downfalls of this film. But overall, the film is really good and entertaining. A lot of good action, a lot of good fight sequences. The alien designs are sick, and the practical effects that they used with it really stand out, and it still looks really good today. And even with like the old school style compositing and stuff that they did for the fight, the climax sequences and stuff, I still thought it was really good and holds up. This is by far one of my favorite like sci-fi movies. Like the story is pretty weak and there's not very much to it. Besides popcorn, it's like a popcorn flick, but definitely is a lot of fun. And I like a lot of destruction. I like watching places get destroyed like crazy in movies and stuff like that, and governments getting overthrown and stuff. But yeah, so you can see a lot of that. Like, what other movie blows up the White House with an alien ship? Like, come on. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun, and it shows how coming together can sometimes help and improve the world and that and big problems like this. And I think Ronald Emmerich does that really well in his films like The Day After Tomorrow as well. And even in 2012, which was like a almost like a joke type of film, but it still has sort of like the same sort of meaning. Each film he does sort of has similar aspects, but this one is definitely fun. It balances well between like the drama that'll go through with people and the action and stuff that goes on with fighting off the alien races and stuff. And yeah, it's just a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. I love it. Besides some of the humor in it's pretty Americanized, I guess you could say. It's kind of forced in there. But besides that, and that they didn't really go farther into other worlds besides like a couple news clips here and there. It didn't make it feel like a worldly problem. It felt more like an American problem. So, but other than that, that was like little gripes. The film is a lot of fun. That's all I wanted was a fun alien movie and invasion movie, and that's what I got. There's more story to it than like Battle Los Angeles, but there's it's still not like the most well fleshed out film, but it's still a lot of fun with a lot of good special effects that actually hold up today. Between the digital stuff and the miniatures and practical, this is one that still holds up, and one of those rare occasions where it actually is still a lot of fun to watch over and over again. I watch it quite a bit, so yeah. I like this movie. I'm not going to give it a perfect rating, but I'm going to give it a 4.5, mainly because it's a good guilty pleasure of mine, and I absolutely love it. So if you haven't seen it, there's a trail link down below, like always. Also, link down below is my Instagram, so I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. There's the film title hashtag and subgenre film hashtag, so you're aware of it. Also, my letterbox is down below at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the film. So follow me on one of those two platforms. Same with the channel. Like this video, share it so you're more aware of it. Share it so other people are more aware of it, and comment your opinions on the film down below if you have any. Also, if you have any other films. If you have any other films that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, in any genre, comment those down below. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. Also, let me know if you want me to do the sequel, even though I'm probably going to do that next. So, but yeah. So make sure you ring that bell so you're aware of that. And, yeah. But, yeah, make sure you subscribe because hopefully find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. Also, so you hear my opinions on popular films coming out at the time, classic films that have Alright, so you hear my opinions on those, somewhat like this, and also so you hear my opinions on other things like shows and stuff. So make sure you subscribe and watch out for all those aliens that are trying to take over our world like Putin. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.